Hello, plant friends. I hope that you are all doing so well. Thank you very much for joining me for another Planty video. Today, I'm going to be sharing some updates on my Ikea greenhouse cabinets and showing you all of the plants that I am currently growing in them because it does change from time to time. I move out plants that outgrow the cabinet and I move new plants in. I have been especially loving and appreciating my cabinets lately. In fact, I've been tempted to get a third one, but I'm going to resist that temptation for now. If you are new here, I have the Ikea milsbo tall cabinet as well as the Ikea milsbo wide cabinet, which is the one right behind me here. I've had the milsbo tall for coming up to 3 years and the wide for coming up to 2 years. And I do have a playlist with a lot more information on them and how I've set them up and everything. So I'll link that down below if you're interested in checking out more IKEA greenhouse themed videos from me. Another reason that I wanted to film this update video is because obviously I've moved, so my plants, or not my plants, sorry, my cabinets are in different places and they're getting a little bit of different conditions. And I guess the cabinets themselves aren't really styled differently, although they do have some different plants in them. But the way that I'm kind of styling them in my home and what I have on top of them is a little bit different as well. So I just wanted to give y'all an update. And yeah, like I said, I'm just really loving my cabinets lately. So I'm going to take this opportunity to talk about them and show them to you once again. I can't wait to show you all of the plants that I have growing inside of them. But before we do that, I'm going to talk about today's sponsor. With my recent move, I've been finding it a little bit difficult to prioritize self-care. For example, I haven't done my nails in a very long time now. That used to be something I was really on top of, as well as my hair. I just haven't been styling it. It's just been tied back or just, it's just air drying. However, a form of self-care that I have been finding time for and which has been really helpful to me has been taking a nice, relaxing shower, shaving, and emerging fresh and renewed. I don't know what it is about shaving, but it always makes me feel so much better. If my legs are shaved, my life feels together. The razors that I've been using for the past year are by Harry's, and I have been so happy with them. So thank you so much to Harry's for sponsoring today's video. Honestly, the perfect sponsor as we slide into the beautiful month of July. Harry's offers high quality razors at an affordable price, which is so important because it's so hard to find anything that is affordable these days. Harry's knows what they're doing when it comes to quality, as their blades are made in their own factory in Germany, where they've been making them for 100 years. One of my favorite things about Harry's as a brand is that they stand for fair pricing for everyone. So that means no pink tax, which is basically when other brands market towards women and jack up the prices for those products, when really it's like the same darn thing. Harry's gives you everything you need at factory direct prices, recognizing that other brands are charging a lot because they can, not because they have to. So try out Harry's today by claiming a trial set for only $5. It's a $13 value, but you can get it for $5 by going to harrys.com/wildfern or clicking the link down below in the description box. Okay, let's start out with the milsbo wide cabinet. So this now lives in my living room. As you can see, it's actually under the TV, which I really love. We accidentally mounted the TV too high, but I'm not sure if we're gonna move it down yet or not because it kind of leaves a nice space above the cabinet for plants and things, so we might leave it. But either way, I love the way that the cabinet looks under the TV. I don't know, it honestly feels like it's meant to be. As for the top of the cabinet, we have the sound bar back here, very functional. And then we also have an amp for the record player underneath the cabinet. And the box for the TV is underneath the cabinet as well, which is kind of handy. They just fit right under there. So I feel like this piece of furniture, this cabinet works really well as kind of like a little under the TV console table kind of thing. And as for the styling of the top of it, I haven't completely decided how I want it to be, but for now I just have a couple of plants up here that I really like. On the corner, I have my Peperomia Hope, which first of all, I'm obsessed with lately. I'm just in love with this plant. I think that it is so cool, so beautiful. I love the way that it looks cascading down the side of the cabinet, and it's just a really easy care plant too, so it's nice to have it just kind of sitting there. That will probably stay. Another one that will probably stay here is my Calathea warshawixii, because this plant needs a spot where it's not going to get any direct sunlight. It just gets ambient light here, so it's perfect, and it seems really happy so far. It's put out a new leaf, this one. Such a beautiful plant, one of my all-time favorites, and I love having it like displayed up here and in this cute little pot and everything. Just makes me really happy, so that one will probably stay here as well. I'm probably going to add more plants up here later on too. Like I said, since there's some room, I might as well throw some up here for now. And something else that I've really been enjoying incorporating into my plant styling and into my home a lot more lately is books, which you may have noticed. So I just have a few books up here. I had a vision of having like a bunch of books across here, but I don't really know if I'm going to do that anymore. I was just kind of playing around when I stuck these two books up here, and this is actually really cool, the one that's in the middle. This is meant to look like a book, but it's actually a vase, like a flower vase. It's so cute. My friend Shannon gave this to me for my birthday, and I love it so much. I haven't gotten any flowers to put in it yet, but I'm actually thinking about just using it as a propagation vessel, because that would look really cool to see all the roots in here. Like, it's such a big, like, flat space to see them, so I think that that would look really cool. So I might do that, but it's really cute that you can just like stick it in like it's a book. So I could have like books and then just have plants propagating and like sticking out. That'd be so cute. Anyways, so yeah, got some books, got some plants, have this little drawing of me and my partner at the beach last year. And that's pretty much it for what's on top at the minute. There is a lot of potential to add more items and just make it really cute, so I'm excited to see how this little area progresses. Also, I think it's worth mentioning that the TV is usually displaying art, so that kind of makes the whole little area look a lot cuter as well. I plan to put more art around this wall, but I keep the TV off most of the time when I'm filming because it can flicker in the background of videos. So yeah, I'm just going to keep it off, but just to show you, it kind of brings the space together a little bit more. And as you can see, there's a lot of other plants kind of surrounding this area, but I'm not going to go into it in too much detail. I will be doing an updated plant tour at some point, so you'll be able to see how everything is kind of displayed. I think that next we're just going to dive right into the cabinet, and I'm going to show you all of the plants that I currently have living in there and how they're doing. Okay, let's open her up. I'm still debating whether I should get those cute handles that you can get off of Etsy. You can get like different types of plant leaves and everything, and I think that that's very fun. I don't know, I'm very indecisive of which one I should order if I do get them. Anyways, side note. Okay, I'm gonna turn the fan off. So like I said, check the playlist if you're interested in the setup of the cabinets at all. I'm just going to be showing the plants. I'm not going to talk too in depth about the setup. I guess I'll start at the top and kind of go around. So the first one that I grabbed down is a Philodendron Charonier propagation. This was a cutting that I took of my Philodendron Charonier quite a while ago now. It's been one of my hardest philodendron, to be honest with you, in my collection. I just haven't really been able to get it to thrive. I'm actually surprised at how nice this leaf came out on this propagation, so I'm probably gonna pot this up and get this on a pole, because I have another one, which you'll see, that just hasn't been doing well at all. So yeah, it's been a bit of a struggle plant for me, but for some reason this propagation in moss is looking quite cute. My camera doesn't want to focus. There we go. So that one just hangs on the grid here. You'll notice that there's some empty shelves too, and that's because I've moved some plants that were in here to my deck because I've been having a lot of success with growing my Hoya outdoors, so I moved a few more out there the other day. But yeah, the only one that's sitting on this shelf currently is one of my Nepenthes. This is my Nepenthes. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to change the camera because it just keeps focusing on my face. Okay, that's better anyways. Anyways, this is my Nepenthes fusca, which is still just a little baby. I got this, I think, at the end of last year, and it's been doing okay for me. I mean, am I a Nepenthes expert? No. But is it alive and growing? Yes, it is. So I'm happy about that. It's lived in the cabinet the whole time that I've had it. Kind of scared to ever take it out, honestly. And then next we have a stunning yellow variegated alocasia. This is my Alocasia Gagiana aurea, and I can't believe how much this thing has just exploded with growth. And like, look at how stunning the variegation is. Are you kidding me? It's just so beautiful. There's two different plants in here. They both have new leaves that are emerging, if you can see under there. It's just been so happy. I need to water this. I need to water probably several plants in here, to be honest with you. This whole cabinet has been drying out like crazy. I've never had to water as frequently as I am having to water right now, just because of the increase in light and temperature and everything. My moss poles, I have to spray pretty much every single day, if not definitely every second day. And I'm watering like every 4 days, I would say, right now. Next, we have my Hoya Polyneura Brogette, which is the silvery Polyneura. And for some reason, this plant has just not wanted to do anything for me. I got this as a cutting quite a while ago now, like 9 months ago or something like that. And yeah, I don't know why it just doesn't want to grow. Somebody messaged me and said maybe it's a spent node, so maybe that's the case, but I don't know. I'm just kind of keeping it indefinitely. One day I'll probably decide to toss it if it, you know, like 2 years go by and it hasn't grown. And then next I just have a Begonia Amphioxus cutting that's just kind of hanging out in water. This broke off in the move. Actually, a lot of my Amphioxus broke off in the move, which was kind of unfortunate because that plant had gotten so big and beautiful. It still is, but a lot of it did break off. So this was, I guess, just one of the little pieces that I managed to save. Oh, we've had a spill. This is my Hoya Wilbur Graves. Whoops, I'm spilling the soil, which is so beautiful. Like, look at that silver variegation. Oh my goodness, I'm spilling all the soil. Maybe I'll do it like this. There, now you can see it. Look at how pretty that is. Yeah, it's an extremely highly variegated Hoya Wilbur Graves, or highly silver. I don't know what the correct terminology would be. All I know is that I freaking love this specimen. Like, it is just so good. I need to get this on a trellis or do something with it. I need to repot it for sure, but I feel like I just need to give it a better setup and more attention because this is probably one of the prettiest Hoyas in my whole collection. Beside that, we have my Hoya Erythrina, another one that just hasn't done anything for me. It always looks like it wants to do something, like it's trying to do something. I think I'll probably repot this because I think it possibly just dries out way too much that it just never really gets a chance to grow. And especially now, it's gonna be just drying out. Like, I'll have to water this twice a day, honestly, in this tiny pot. So I'll probably uppot this soon. Really, really pretty Hoya. I would love to see it grow sometime soon, hopefully. Oh my goodness, this one is dry as a bone. Yeah. I've really been struggling with keeping up with watering some of these tiny plants in here. They all need to be uppotted. So this is my Hoya Cumingiana, is that correct? I think so. And it's a small leafed Hoya. This is so cute. I got this in a Plant Haven Toronto unboxing that I did probably a couple of months ago now. And it's done really well, honestly. It's grown a lot. There's a little new vine coming out there. Isn't that so cute? It's just a little baby. And it does get sun stressed, or at least mine is looking like it's sun stressed. Like, the leaves are looking pretty dark on the ones that are close to the grow light. I don't know. Really, really cute though. definitely need to up pot. I'm actually gonna leave this one out because it needs to be watered like immediately. Next we have Philodendron mexicanum. This is just a little baby. I actually had a bigger plant of this and I got rid of it, and then I still had this kicking around as a wet stick, so I potted it up and it's grown into this little plant. This is a plant that I am always going back and forth on whether or not I want to grow it. Like I said, I got rid of the mother plant and then I just happened to randomly still have this baby, so it's still with me. But I don't know, I just feel like I don't really love it, so I don't know how much space I want it to take up in my collection. You know what I'm saying? But it is a really beautiful philodendron. I love the red backs. I love philodendron with red backs, but I have my philodendron subhastatum, which also has that feature of the red backs. Honestly, this looks like a subhastatum. Anyways, basically I'm undecided of whether I'm going to be keeping this or not, but yeah, we'll see. Very thirsty too. I'm going to leave that one out as well. And then next, hanging on the other wall behind me, is this Nepenthes glandulifera, which is like a hairy Nepenthes. I don't know how much the camera will pick it up, but it has a fuzz on it. Mine is still quite young. As you can see, it's pretty small. It is losing this picture, but it's been doing really well, honestly, and growing. Look at that. We have the newest one right here, and it looks really healthy. I just try my best to stay on top of watering with these, and they seem to be doing okay. So yeah, that's my second Nepenthes. Now I'm going to move on to some of the plants on the lower level here. So the first one is one of 3 of my Anthurium forgetii propagations. This is the one that got a little janky looking. It does have a new growth point though. That looks like it's trying to push a leaf, so that's cool. I'm gonna peel. Looks like it's like constricted by this stuff. There we go. Anyways, yeah, this is still in perlite. Look at the roots though. I need to pot these up, honestly, these little babies. Okay, next we have my Philodendron Ring of Fire, and this is getting pretty close to outgrowing the cabinet just because it splays out so big. Like, it's not super tall. I mean, it is getting kind of tall. Like, the newest leaf is getting pretty close to the grow light. This came out a couple of weeks ago now, I would say, the newest leaf there. I'm not too sure where I'm going to be moving this to. It is rooted into the moss pole here. I was thinking about moving this outside. Should I do that? Should I grow this outside or try growing it outside on the deck for the summer? I kind of want to experiment with that because I don't have any philodendron outside yet. So maybe I will do that. Throw this one out there and see what happens. I mean, it's been pretty happy in the cabinet so far, but I don't think it needs to be in the cabinet, you know? Next, we have another Anthurium forgetii propagation. This one looks nice and dark and cute. Still a little crispy though. This is the third Anthurium forgetii propagation. This one actually probably looks the best because it's not crispy or anything. Really dark and velvety. It's so pretty. Lots of roots on that one too. This is just a random pot of little baby plants that came out of my propagation bin. I think that these are Philodendron majestic, I'm gonna say. And yeah, they're just kind of hanging out in here. They don't really look amazing, and I kind of neglect them, to be honest with you. And then at the back here, we have my beautiful Anthurium minahasa, which I just featured in my favorites video. That would have went up the week prior, I believe. It has this beautiful new leaf here, which unfortunately got damaged because this grid came crashing down, which I didn't mention, but I got these new heavy-duty suction hooks to hold up my grid now. And so far, I'm very impressed. It's not going to be falling down again. These hold like over 6 pounds of weight. So yeah, I'm really glad that I have those. I actually need a couple more for the milsbo tall, so I'm going to order another set of them. But yeah, they've been working amazingly so far. Unfortunately, before I got those suction hooks though, the grid did come crashing down and damage this plant a little bit, but it's still doing really well, honestly. Like I was saying in my last, or in one of my last videos, that all of my anthurium imports are doing pretty well, which is great. Go have some nice healthy roots. I think that this one is loving living in this cabinet. Okay, and then moving along here, we have my Hoya fungii, which just kind of hangs out, you know. I think that he is drying out too much again. I repotted him to hopefully prevent him from drying out too much, but then he grew, and now I think he needs to be repotted again. So I need to add that to my list. But yeah, quite a cool Hoya when they get really big and bushy. Mine just isn't really there yet. A Hoya that I am really obsessed with at the minute is my Hoya Kalimantan, which another one that I got from Plant Haven Toronto. This Hoya has surprised me a lot because for some reason I thought it was going to be a slow grower. I find that sometimes these like cool veiny looking Hoya tend to grow really slowly, but this one started growing immediately. You can see it has 2 vines with new leaves currently coming in on them right now as well. It's given me multiple new leaves since I got it, and yeah, it's just been very chill. But something that I really love about it that I wasn't expecting is that the leaves have a sheen to them. And I've never really seen this on a Hoya before. None of the other Hoya in my collection have quite this sheen, and I don't even really know how to describe it. If anyone else has this Hoya, let me know. But if you look at it in the light, like it honestly just does have like a slight satin, I guess I would say, sheen to it. And it's just so pretty. Like that in combination with the cool prehistoric veiny leaves is just amazing. So yeah, this guy's doing really well. Still living in sphagnum moss. I need to repot this soon and give it a trellis also. I have a lot of plant chores to do. This summer is going to be crazy. Okay, here's my begonia amphioxus. It's actually clipped in multiple spots to the grid because it was just getting way too floppy. So I don't think I'm gonna move it, but here she is. She is immaculate, incredible, getting really big, and just such an easygoing begonia, honestly, which still surprises me even though I've had it for a while now. It's just, yeah, it's grown so much. It's so cool. I need to repot it because it dries out. Actually, you know what? I will take it off because I have to take it to the sink to water it anyways. So let's take her off and get a better look. Here she is, the queen. Look at her. Like, she is so freaking big and so just healthy and happy. Look at the color on her leaves. So gorgeous, such a unique Hoya. I've heard that these do well outside of cabinet conditions as well, but I've just always grown mine in the cabinet, and she obviously loves it. These like a lot of light, and other than that, they're pretty chill, honestly. Mine dries out way more than it should, like it's bone dry right now. So I would say it's pretty tolerant to drying out, but I wouldn't recommend letting it dry out too often. It'll grow better if you don't. Look at the size of this leaf. I just saw this, and it's huge. Look at that. Oh my goodness, I just love her. Anyways, yeah, my begonia amphioxus. And then beside that, we have a plant that I really, really need to sort out, and I'm now gonna have to chop because I have neglected putting my medium silver on a moss pole. And now we have runners, you guys, which is so annoying because, oh my goodness, I keep losing my voice. Because I cut this plant up, it propagated it and everything to try to avoid runners. Yeah, it's really annoying. Runners can be kind of frustrating. I do actually have a new leaf coming out there, but then I have 3 runners. So I'm probably going to pot this up with a pole and then just cut the runners off and hopefully kind of like start from scratch with them, I guess. Hopefully they'll just root into the moss poles and then put out leaves. But yeah, I love this plant so much. I used to have a really big, I mean, this used to be from a really big one. This was really big once, and then I chopped it, and these are the cuttings from that. But it's just such a cool plant. I've always loved it. I've always loved growing it, and I had a relatively easy time growing it. However, I will say it hasn't been the easiest, like the whole propagation process with it hasn't been super easy for me, but that could also be because I started it I think in the winter, and you know, my old place was just darker and colder and just not super conducive to rooting plants. But yeah, this is where we're at right now, and this is a reminder to myself to address this soon. Next, we have my Hoya Crassi Petiolata Splash, and it's on an architrellis, but it's just kind of weird. I need to kind of make it a little bit cuter on here or something, because it's just flopping around and it's not very aesthetically pleasing, but that's what it looks like. It was going through a growth spurt and then it just kind of stopped. Those are the original leaves. These are definitely the prettiest ones, the ones that it came with. But yeah, I will say I'm not in love with this Hoya right now. I was really excited when I got it, and it's just, I don't know. I just need to find a way to make this look cuter and just put more effort into caring for it so that it grows nicely, because it's not wowing me right now, but I know that it has the potential to wow, so it's my fault. I need to put more effort into it, which is kind of the story of a lot of my plants. Okay, what is this? I want to say Hoya incrustata, but I don't know if that's right. I think it might be right. The inner variegated version, but it's kind of reverted on me. It's giving me like some sort of slight inner variegation, but mostly just these green leaves, and that's all it's given me. I don't know whether I should chop this back or not. Oh, it actually has started pushing out a new vine here, so maybe those will be variegated. I'm gonna wait and see if those are variegated, but yeah, a really cool Hoya. It just hasn't done a ton for me yet. And then in the back here we have my Philodendron Charonier, which I was talking about. This has been a struggle plant for me. I've not had an easy time growing it. For some reason, the leaves never look nice. I also was having a lot of them yellowing and getting this weird damage, which looks like spider mite damage, but I was never able to find any spider mites on it. I treated it regardless, but it's just never really bounced back. It's never really looked amazing, so I'm just kind of waiting to see if it bounces back and starts looking good. It also does the thing where it gets leaves stuck pretty often. So yeah, I don't know. If any of y'all have one of these and you have any secrets to share with me, leave them down below in the comments. And then next we have my Epipremnum Marble, which is looking stunning. Look at how gorgeous this is. Oh my goodness. Look at this. The new leaf has a little baby fenestration. Do you see it right here? That is so, so cute. So this plant is still quite young. It's just starting to climb up. I don't even know if it's attached to the pole. Oh, no, it's not. But I think it will attach soon if I can manage to keep the pole moist enough, because it's literally getting so dry unless I water every single day. But yeah, I love this plant so much. I think that this is so gorgeous. I can definitely see this being a favorite of mine once it gets a little bit more mature. Very, very stunning, and grows surprisingly quickly for how much variegation there is. And then lastly, we just have my two Epipremnum no IDs. So this is the first one. This one has bigger leaves and it's on a moss pole, as you can see. Very pretty. It's been doing really well. Really easy plant to grow, honestly, and I'm just excited to see how big I can get the leaves and what it's going to end up looking like. Like I said, this is a no ID, but it's a similar color to Cebu Blue. And the photos of the mother plant I believe this came from, I got these as cuttings from a friend, but I think that the mother plants came from Indonesia, and or these plants came from yeah, I guess the mother plant to this plant, the mother plant of those plants, the grandma plant is in Indonesia, and I've seen photos and it looked phenomenal. So yeah, I'm excited to see, I'm excited to add an extension and kind of see what the potential of this plant is going to be. And then kind of same story with this one. This is another no ID, but it has that kind of silvery hue to it, thinner leaves on this one, and also fenestrates when it's quite juvenile. You can see even one down here has a fenestration, so I'm kind of expecting to get fenestration sometime soon on this. I will update you guys when that happens, but again, I just need to keep up with the watering and everything. It's been really hard this past month to keep up with the watering of all of my poles and everything, but I'm getting back on track, so hopefully these plants will be appreciating that. Anyways, wow, I guess that was the last one in this cabinet. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and water all of the plants that I took out. I need to charge my mic, and then I will be back to take you through the setup, styling, and the plants in my milsbo tall.